Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Abandoned by His Family and Trained by Hiruzen? And yeah, guys, it's an unscripted movie as well. And before continuing this, if you like my content, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Story begins at the night of QB attack, October 11th. It was a peaceful night in Konohagakure no Sato, as the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze and his wife were the most happy people in the world, as his wife Kushina Uzumaki was about to give birth to their children, Menma, Mito and Naruto. Naruto being the oldest and Menma the middle child, as Mito being the youngest. As the three of them were born outside Konoha, because Kushina was a Jinchurikin, held the nine-tailed Biju inside her, seal that was on her stomach. As the three children were born, and masked man attacked, named as Madara Uchiha, as he tried to threaten the Hokage by kidnapping one of the children. But Minato had to leave his wife behind in case the children couldn't get hurt. He had to make sure at first. But when he returned, his worst fear came true. The QB was released from the seal at its weakest point and started to cause rampage in the village. But Minato, being the genius he was, alongside with the help of his sensei and the previous Hokage, Sandaime Hiruzen Sarutobi, and some of the top-notch Anbus of the village, were able to prevent most of the damages. And Minato was able to seal the QB by splitting it into three halves, one being soul and body, which was entitled to Naruto, while Yin and Yang chakra went to Mito and Menma respectively. As the family was happy that this was over with, and Jiraiya and Minato knew what they had to do, as he looked at Kushina, who nodded as well, with a lot of confidence in her eyes and concentration and full focus, as they all returned to the council chambers, where only Hiruzen, his students, and some of the shinobi clans alongside with the civilian members and the elders were. As they all were surprised at what the Hokage was doing. They didn't blame the children, they saw all of them as heroes. We have to focus on Menma and Mito. We are going to take them away from Konoha and raise them in the land of Fire Capital. What about Naruto? Asked Fugaku Uchiha. Well, Fugaku, he's going to be raised in orphanage. What? What do you mean he's going to be raised in orphanage? Hiruzen said. He was listening to the whole conversation quietly, quite shocked, and not only that, feeling betrayed of what he believed them to be. He was also disappointed in Minato and Kushina as well. He didn't thought of them as such. Both of them had lost their family, and yet they wanted their oldest son to go through the same. No, he wasn't going to let that happen. Not on his watch. And surprisingly, Danzo was going to agree with him on this one. He too was abandoned by his family. Even if he was a heartless monster, he wasn't going to let another child suffer the same fate as he once suffered. You are not going to abandon him, Hokage, said Danzo. And Danzo, why pray tell would we listen to you? It is our family matter. You stay out of this. As he gritted his teeth and clutched his fists so much that blood was seeping out of them. Because, Minato, Hiruzen said, if you abandon him, don't you think he will hate you once he grow up, wanting nothing to do with you? That will never happen, said another voice. It was Hiruzen's other student, Jiraiya and Tsunade, as they entered. Sensei, we are going to return after 13 years, once they reach the age of 13. After completing both Menma and Mito's training, when we return, Naruto will come rushing back to us. Once he knows that both of the legendary Sannin and Yellow Flash and Red Death is her parents. After hearing his words, Hiruzen glared at them, which caused all of them to flinch, but they stood there tall, as if their decision was of no such consequences. As all of their friends looked at them with shock, even his own student, Kakashi, was watching with wide eyes what his sensei was doing. As then, Minato said, it is as the only matter of Namikaze and Uzumaki clan, and henceforth, Naruto will stay here. Minato, you can't do this, we will not allow you. As Kushina had enough, she hardened her eyes. I, Uzumaki Kushina, matriarch of the Uzumaki clan, banish Naruto from my clan. as everyone's eyes widened at this. Kushina, what do you mean by that? Said Hiruzen, fearful in his tone and quite shocked. You're not going to listen to us that way. He is banished. He has no right over my clan. It isn't even his fault, Tazumi said as he got up. Are you sane, Kushina? What do you think you're talking about? You're just banishing him for what? For being born? For being a third wheeler? Oh my god, Kushina, I was wrong about you. Fine, if you're going to banish him, I will adopt him into my clan. No, as the Namikaze clan head, I will also banish him for the time being. Once we return, we're going to recruit him back into our clan. Both me and Kushina are, as both of them nodded. Until then, he's banished. And not to be adopted by any of the clans. As the civilians who were looking at this whole scenario was quite shocked, their respect for their newfound hero just lost drastically, and they pitied the child. More than ever so was Mabuki Haruno, the leader of the civilian council group, and also previous friend of Kushina Uzumaki. As she looked at Naruto, fine, he falls under our jurisdiction now. You can leave, Hokage-sama. We will put him in an orphanage and take care of him. As after that, the whole council left, but Hiruzen was still there. Listen, Hiruzen, I know you're mad at us. Shut up. What? Everyone was surprised by Hiruzen's sudden tone. Get out of here. Never show your face in front of me for 13 years. No, get out. But Hiruzen, you have to get out! He yelled at them, as all of them were quite shocked at this. Even the two students had never seen their sensei in such anger-filled eyes. And they did the next best thing and left without saying anything else. As they were leaving, they could see that the population of Konoha were looking at them in quite shock as they all left, and Naruto was placed in orphanage. Soon after the Hokage left, a week passed by and the village was starting to rebuild itself. But those who seen in the council chamber what had occurred were quite shell-shocked, and the news started to spread inside the village of what had occurred of little Naruto. And, well, let's just say the village wasn't happy at what their Hokage did. And Danzo was also mad, so he put his Rutanbu to look out for Naruto, because he knew some of the people still held hatred for him for holding and housing the Biju's body and soul. Or some of the people might try to assassinate him now that the information that he was the banished son of Minato and Kushina has leaked by someone. And from time to time, Mabuki Haruno would went to the orphanage and look at Naruto, and, well, take care of him in general. The same could be said for Hiruzen and Kakashi, as some of the civilian council members that had lost his family in that, gone against the words of the whole council, even the civilian one, well, leaked the news that Naruto held the soul of Kyuubi and hence was reincarnated. That is why Hokage left him. The rumors started to spread, and from everyone in the population of Konoha, beating Naruto went to hating him. And at the age of 3, the orphanage martyrs couldn't take it anymore. She had to hide Naruto because the people were marching at the orphanage and were going to destroy it. She looked at Naruto and said, I'm so sorry, Naruto, but I cannot harm other children. Please, go and hide. Go to Hokage-sama. But ma'am, Please, Naruto, you have to go, she said as her eyes teared up. She knew when Naruto was brought to her, Naruto looked like her dead son. That is why she loved him so much, but now she had to let him go. It hurt her so much, but that was the only thing she could do for him to be saved by the enraged mob. As Naruto dashed towards the Hokage office, the mob saw him. As they turned towards him, as the woman gritted her teeth, as she tried to warn Naruto, but it was too late. As Naruto ran as fast as he could with his little legs, as the whole mob followed after him. Kill the demon! We have to kill him! And kill the soul and the body of Kyuubi so it can never reincarnate again. As Naruto was cornered, beaten, stabbed by kunais, trusted kunais, badly injured and almost raped. Those who was about to rape him, their necks came off clean, as everyone tensed and they turned around to see an angry Hokage standing there, leaking so much killer intent that They almost pissed their pants. Hokage-sama, what are you doing? What is the meaning of this? Who told you that he was a demon? You only housed that in a protective seal powered by Shinigami, you damn fools. That is why we're finishing him off. For what? He's an innocent child. He has already enough on his plate, and you just had to go and do it. If his mental psyche break, the QB will reform again, and you damn shits, the chakra will return. You cannot kill a Biju. No matter how much you try, it will just reform back with its memories and just come and finish what he started. Is that what you want? As everyone flinched. And when Mabuki arrived there at the commotion, her eyes widened. She saw Raido, one of the council members, in civilian side. Raido, what is the meaning of this? I told you not to leak that news out. I had to. We had to kill him. As he stabbed and rushed and stabbed Naruto's heart with a kunai, and now I'm done with it. As Hiruzen lashed out, killed every one of them with his own bare hands mercilessly. He has lost it after seeing that Naruto being banished by his own parents and abandoned, and now tortured by the villagers because of some petty revenge for housing the Kyuubi's body? No, he will not let this tolerate. If Naruto somehow survived this night, he will train him personally. Damn the rules, damn Minato's word, he was not going to follow him anymore. Not like the rest of the council did anyways. On to the other side in Fire Capital, Minato and Kushina were celebrating their daughter and son third birthday. As both Menma and Mito celebrated, after they were done, both of them asked one question. Ne, To-chan, Ka-chan, you always told us about that we have another brother in Konoha that you have to banish from our clan, said Mito, as Menma nodded as well. Say, how does Naruto look like? We can ask for pictures from Sarutobi. What do you say, honey? Yeah, I want to see him as well. I'm missing him. Yeah, don't worry, Gaki. We'll return there soon, said another voice as Tsunade walked in, still drunk, as Jiraiya was out there doing his research. Yeah, you're right, Tsunade-ba-chan, said Kushina, as the boy and girl asked, as they were alone by the time. Ne, Mito, do you think Naruto will hate us for hogging all of our parents' attention? I don't know. They put him in an orphanage, and I don't even want to know what it looks like to be so lonely. Hey Mito, I think our parents made a mistake. How so? Menma, how can you say that? Well, look at this way. You see, you're put into an orphanage when you were born and raised alone there in loneliness for 13 years, and suddenly we come back. What will you do? Of course I'll be mad. I'll be so mad that I won't even talk to you, she said the last words as her eyes widened. Oh my god, our parents made a deadly mistake. What if Naruto doesn't want to do anything with us? As Menma also had a shocked look. Plus he's banished by them. If he hears this news, he'll be crushed as well. We have to find a way to correct this mistake, Mito. I don't want to lose my brother. Even if I don't know him or anything, he still is my brother. And he didn't have a choice, like we didn't have. We have to convince him to at least forgive us, if he doesn't want to forgive our parents, he said. Menma, how could you be so selfish? I'm not being selfish, Mito. Our parents were the one who were being selfish at the time, and they must pay for their consequences. If I was left behind, then I will be like, to hell with them. I don't want anything to do with you all. I'll be so enraged. I can feel it. Just put yourself or imagine yourself being in Naruto's shoes. As both of them shivered. We have to keep this at bay and promise to never reveal these things to anyone but us. As both of them nodded and had a new mission in their mind. To get Naruto to acknowledge them as his sibling because they knew their parents fucked up at the age of 3. Why? Because they were prodigies. The 3 of them. On to the other side, Naruto, surprisingly by a miracle, was alive when he was brought to Anbo Hospital and was treated with great care He was in a coma for 2 months, and once he woke up, he couldn't move his body because it was covered with bandages all over. Scars forever embarked on his body as a whole. As he said, Water, in dry voice. He couldn't even speak. The Hokage, being there, rushed towards him and with a glass of water. Here, Naruto-kun, drink this. Didi, how is ma'am from orphanage? Is she okay? As Hiruzen smiled, yes, my boy, she's fine. She visited you sometime and apologized that she shouldn't have let you out that night. She said that she wanted you to escape because the mob was charging towards the orphanage. With the one option, she had to let you go because she knew that the orphanage was going to be destroyed. She loved you more than anyone else, Naruto. That's why what she did. And she left the village now, alongside the rest of the orphan children. As Naruto's eyes went, as he started to shed tears. Don't cry, Naruto. She wanted to move away from such a pathetic place, where one child was hunted down by humans who were none less than demons themselves. She couldn't let the other children be, motivated by them. So she fled with them. And I wholeheartedly agree with her decision. She's in the fire capital now, living there peacefully. Can I visit her sometime? I apologized, Naruto, but she didn't tell where she was going specifically. Until she settled down and sent in a letter, I don't know. As Naruto shed some tears, what am I going to do now? I just lost my only home. He said, Nay, Didi. Hiruzen was in his own thoughts when Naruto said that. He was guilt-ridden. He could just tell the boy what was happening. Did my parents abandon me? Or did they love me? Last night they all called me demon before, you know what they did, Naruto said as he started to cry and shiver a bit, hugging himself. As Hiruzen heart wrenched at his side, and so did one of the Anbus. He was Inu. He was crying behind his mask. Why did such a young child have to go through this? It's worse than my childhood. And Sensei, his Sharingan blazed and morphed into a Mangekyo. You will pay for this dearly. You are worse than trash. No, I cannot give you the name of trash because it is insulting trash in itself. You are worse than him. As he sunshined away, just to go to gravestone and mob over there, over his dead friend's grave. On to the other side, he knew that Obito was also there, listening to his word. Obito, our sensei has abandoned his own son, just so he could raise the other two who had the chakra, and he banished him from both of the clans. Both of them did. I hate him. What would you have done, Obito? Listen, I wanted to tell you this. I didn't kill Rin. That day, I blamed myself for it. I didn't kill her. I was about to kill Akiri Nin, protecting her as she was forced by them to be the Jinchuriki of Isubu. But she jumped in between. She didn't want it to explode in Konoha. I took her against her wishes. She wanted me to kill her when I rejected her from her love proposal. I knew you loved her, and I respected that. I wanted to protect her because in my mind, I thought that she was your precious person. I'm sorry, Obito, but this is the truth. If you were alive and somehow out there listening, up there, he said, looking towards the sky, I promise the things would have been different. I'm sorry, Obito, I couldn't fulfill my promise. I don't deserve your Sharingan. But now I have a new goal, and that is to protect Naruto and train him to show my sensei that what mistake he made. I hope you're with me on this one, Obito, he said as he sunshined away from there. As Obito, who stood there, was shell-shocked. What? No. But what Madara showed me. What I heard him say to my grave that day, to confirm my... Oh no. If what he says is true, then... As his eyes narrowed, Zetsu, you will pay for this dearly. But as for now, I'll follow along your plan. But at the meantime, I will betray you. Worry not, Kakashi. I will get the end of this. If your saying is true, then I will return, my friend. With Rin as well. I have a new goal in my life as well now, he said as he too vanished in a Kamui dimension. Back there, as Hiruzen and Naruto were still in the hospital room, as Hiruzen was consoling Naruto, a monkey appeared with a scroll. Hiruzen, a scroll for you. Ah, Enma. Thanks. As he looked at the child, what happened to this child? He looks quite bad in condition, he said. Not now, Enma. I'll tell you later. I have to receive a reply to go. Please, can you read this scroll? It's important. It's from Land of Fire, he said as Hiruzen's eyes narrowed. I see, he said with a steel voice. Naruto flinched at that. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. You may rest. Anbu. As a tiger-masked Anbu appeared. Hi. Remove your mask. Hi, Hokage-sama. As the person removed his mask, it was none other than Tenzo. Tenzo, I want you to train Naruto alongside Kakashi. When he returned, tell him that I'm assigning both of you off of the Anbu as regular Jonin senses of Naruto. And you will also act as his personal guard. Gigi, I don't need Naruto. Please, do not interfere. As Naruto nodded, hi. You may rest now. I have urgent work to take care of, he said as he left the room. Inside his office, he opened the scroll and read it. Hey Hiruzen, just wondering how Naruto looked like. Both Menma and Mito wanted to know. We told him about their other sibling once they were able to understand it. Both of them are prodigies and were able to pick up a lot of stuff at the age of 2. Heck, sometimes I wonder if they are children or not. Kushina said, if you're still mad at us, I'm sorry, but it had to be done. It had to be done this way. It hurt us to do this, but everything will be okay, and we'll be back to where it's supposed to be when we return. It is already too late, he said, as he continued to read on. So we were wondering, since it was birthday of Menma and Mito and Naruto, can you wish Naruto happy birthday for us, and can we get a picture of him? Both of his siblings wanted to see how he looks. Oh, I will give you a present. As he said that, he called for an Anbu. Anbu, go get a photographer. What? Naruto's parents want his picture, so why don't we deliver it to them? He said with a smirk on his face. A smirk that said he was going to make them realize how much of a worst mistake they made. And please call Naruto here. It's time I think he should know about his parents, since his siblings know about him. I think it is only right that he knows about his parents and family out there. Or supposed family. Hiruzen said as well, as the Anbu nodded and left via Sunshin. On to the other side, Naruto's hospital room. Naruto was resting as Tenzo stood there as Kakashi arrived. Tenzo? What are you doing here, and why is your mask off? He said. Kakashi-senpai, I'm in my Anbu gear, Tenzo. Why are you telling my name to Naruto? Well, we both are assigned off of Anbu as regular Jonin to train Naruto. I see. Well, I was also going to talk to Hokage-sama about this. I thought he was here. As they were talking, and Anbu came in. Anbu, what is the meaning of this? He asked. Kakashi-senpai, Tenzo-san, I see that you're off duty. And Naruto-san, Hokage-sama has summoned for you. And you two, if you want to come, you can as well. Obviously we're going to come since we're his teachers and guards, Tenzo said, as Kakashi nodded as well. As after carrying Naruto, bridal style, Kakashi left the room. As after arriving there, Naruto's bandages were taken off that were on him. And his body was shown covered in scars from his face to his whole body, as Naruto was dressed completely in a blue shirt with a spiral on his back for normal Konoha shinobis, and a grey shorts with shinobi sandals. Nay, Gigi, why the sudden photo? I can't even barely move a muscle. Don't worry, Naruto. Well, I will tell you later, but please just can you take a picture? Hi, Naruto said, as he took a picture, still smiling. After the picture was taken, it was developed for 1 hour. While it was being developed, Hiruzen talked to Naruto. Naruto, what I'm about to tell you might, well, change your perspective on all of us. Please, I want you to listen to my explanation after explaining this to you. Hi? Didi, what is going on? Why are you so serious? Did I do something wrong? No, Naruto. You're not the one who did wrong this time. We are the one. I know you might be young, but you are a genius in your own right. You can understand everything I say, right? And grasp the situation. I don't know about this, Didi, but I guess I can. Somewhat. He said as Hiruzen chuckled before getting serious. Naruto, your parents? They are alive. They are in the land of fire, living with your siblings. He waited as Naruto's eyes widened after hearing that. Tears started to well up. He started to cry. Then why did they abandon me? Did they also thought of me as Kyuubi? Naruto said as Hiruzen's eyes widened as he shook his head. No, Naruto. No. They did that so they could train Menma and Mito. What? Why? Then why did they left me behind if they didn't hate me? Naruto, they did this because they banished you from their clan, so they can't take you now. What? They banished me? Naruto said. His mind was about to break after hearing this. His body was not listening to him. He was frozen there. The words were quite heavy for him to digest. Banished from his clan at the time of his birth. His parents hated him for what? Just for being born? Next emotion he felt was one that was new for him. Hatred. Hatred for his parents, for his so-called family. His eyes narrowed as he unintentionally unlocked his chakra, as huge cracks were formed in the center hall of the council chambers, as blue energy flared all around him, which caused everyone to look at him with quite shock. This chakra, it's the same as Tobirama Sensei and Hashirama Sensei at when they were mad, but this is the first time Naruto unlocked chakra, and at quite such a young age. Naruto, please listen to my word carefully. What is more there to listen to? Hokage-sama, you lied to me. All of you did. And my parents are alive and banished me from my clan at the time of my birth. For what? For being born? He said, with hateful tears in his eyes. It hurt. It hurted like hell just to know that your family hated you just for being born. No. He will get his revenge on them and prove them wrong. We, all of the council, some of the civilians as well, aside from Raido, that bastard, and most of the shinobi corps and the whole village knew about this. But because of my word, or the word of your father at the time, no one was allowed to speak about this, not even me, because he was the originating Hokage. But to hell with him. He has the nerve to ask for your picture because he told your siblings about you. Naruto, I know you hate your family, but understand this, said Kakashi. Your siblings are much of a victim as you are. They didn't have a voice to say at the time as much as you. Naruto nodded. But what if they hate me too? We don't know yet at the time, Naruto. But tell me something, Naruto. What do you think of your parents? I hate them. Do you ever want to reconcile your relationship with them? Never. They never bothered, so why should I? What about your siblings? Kakashi asked. I don't know. I will give them a chance and see how they react. As they all nodded, pleased by Naruto's reaction and his maturity even at the age of 3. Well, beating to death by a mob was one thing. It made him grow up fast. Plus, he was already a genius in right of his own. So Naruto, are you prepared to go a hellish of training and become an ultimate shinobi? Hi, he said with great conviction and concentration in his voice. He was going to prove his parents wrong. Susan, after hearing Naruto's words alongside Kakashi and Tenzo, was quite surprised and happy with Naruto's words. The boy made them proud with his geniusness and maturity. Naruto, you can leave for now. Here, these are the keys to an apartment near my office where you can visit me at the time of need, or if any other mob tries to hurt you. These two are my best Anbus, captain at the time, and they are off duty and your guards. They will also be living with you there for the time being, since both of them also don't have any family. As Naruto looked up at them, oh, well, I guess I gained two Nisans, huh? Naruto said, chuckling, as Kakashi I smiled. Hi, he said, as Tenzo also smiled a little bit, even though his face looked like a dead fish, as Hiruzen chuckled. Well, my boy, you can leave now. As he did, the photographer came in. Okage-sama, the photo has been developed. Good, you can leave. As he left, Hiruzen wrote down a scroll and a picture was put into it. As he summoned Enma, here Enma, you can take this back to them. As Enma poofed away, onto the other side, in Fire Capital, as Minato and Kushina were training both Menma and Mito as they were done for the day. As the scroll arrived through a toad, here, scroll from Hiruzen Sarutobi, Menma and Mito perked their eyes and ears after hearing that. I see, so the scroll has arrived. Menma, Mito, you can leave and go to your rooms now. We have a more important matter to discuss now. As both of them nodded as they left. As they were now inside Menma's room, both of them were. Nay, Menma, what do you think was inside the scroll? Possibly Naruto's picture. Remember the last time on our birthday they asked for his picture? Could be. Nay, Menma, you want to check how he looks like? Yeah, I'll be lying to myself if I said that I don't have any interest. I want to know what he looks like. As they sneaked downstairs, only to hear their mother crying. How could they do this to him? Well, when Menma and Mito were talking upstairs, Minato and Kushina were having a scene of their own. As they opened the scroll, it revealed what happened to Naruto 2 months ago. And not only that, how he was hunted down like a mindless animal and brutally brought close to death. He was in a coma for 2 months, and there were scars engraved on his body forever. As they saw the scar-filled Naruto smiling at the camera, their heart wrenched, as the picture was soon showed to Tsunade, who was drunk, and Jiraiya, who was home after doing his research. What got you so down, Gaki? What is wrong? As they showed the scroll and the picture. After reading the scroll dropped from Jiraiya's hand as his eyes widened. As Tsunade sobered up, her eyes widened as she saw Naruto's picture. That damn bastards. Hiruzen better have a better explanation for this one. I will go and hunt down all of them. They are all executed, Tsunade, said Minato and Kushina, as Kushina was still crying on Minato's chest. Hiruzen executed them by himself. Good, Jiraiya said. We can focus on both of them. As the three of their eyes widened, and so did Menma and Mito's. What is going on? Did something bad happen to Naruto, Nisan? Whispered Mito. I don't know. Just listen carefully. For now. What do you mean? The child can take care of himself. Plus, he looks like he's okay. He will heal. Time will heal. And, well, we can focus on both of their trainings for the time being. We will return at the deadline. But our son, Sensei, he's our son. He went through hell. How can we just sit around and do nothing? We have to. Sacrifices must be made in order to achieve world peace, and Menma and Mito are the key. Both of them house the yin and yang chakra of Kyuubi. And as per Gamamaru-sama's prophecy, a child born from you will be the child of prophecy who will save this world from a great catastrophe and bring on peace. And I think it is either Menma or Mito. That is the reason I brought the two of them here alongside you and convince you as well. Look, kid, I'm sorry, but life, such as life, shit happens. And the kid probably must learn fast that it can happen again unless he takes care of himself. He's alone there, Jiraiya, says Tsunade, first time being angry. He's a 3-year-old kid. What do you expect him to do? Huh? Throw some fireball jutsu at them? He's a kid who hasn't even unlocked any chakra. And civilian shinobis, at the time of 3, know nothing about it, barely read any words, and they barely start their training at the age of 6 and 7 once they are inside the academy. Plus, both of them banished him. That is one thing I didn't expect but didn't bother to question at the time, because I thought you were in the right mind at the time of the decision, but now I see that it was a mistake, she said as she left. Where are you going, Tsunade? To get drunk, what else? She missed both Menma and Mito at the stairs as she left. As their eyes went, banished? Naruto is banished from the clans? As both Menma and Mito looked at each other. This is worse than we thought. You might not even forgive us. How can they forget it? Their parents mentioned, but them living there with such peaceful life, they forgot about that little detail, even if they talked about it amongst themselves. But now that they remembered it, oh no, they had a lot of work to do. And they had to see a picture of Naruto. How does he look like? As both of them had red hair with yellow streaks, with violet eyes. And, well, Minato's face and features. And his intelligence. But they wanted to see what their big brother looked like. As Minato and Kushina left the scroll and picture on the table as they went upstairs and saw that their children were quote-unquote sleeping. As their parents' room door closed, they dashed out of their room in order to drink water. As they dashed down, they opened the scroll and read it. What was happened to Naruto? Their eyes widened in horror as they saw Naruto's picture smiling at the camera with scar-filled face. And not only that, his both arms and hands and those part of the legs which were shown. And Mito almost, screamed when she read that Naruto was almost raped. As they were shaking with fear and chills ran down their spine as they rushed back inside Menma's room with Naruto's picture. What happened to him? He looks like he's okay, but he was tortured. It looks like that. He looks innocent. And yet the people put him through such things. Now I will definitely not forgive anyone. Not after this hell. We have to get whatever we can and make him agree that we are also innocent. I know you're right, Menma, on this one. Now I see that how much of a mistake our parents made. And still, they're hell-bent on us being the fucking... Mito sweared for the first time. Savior of this world. Look at what this world did to our sibling, our big brother. I don't want to save this world. I'd rather destroy it, she said as her eyes flashed red with slits. Mito, calm down. How can I calm down, Menma? Look at him. He's been tortured. I said, Uzumaki, I can't see this anymore. This is hurting me way too much, she said as tears started to fall down from her eyes. She started to cry on Menma's chest. As Menma too cried, as they hugged each other, by looking at their siblings' condition. If they could, they would just go away and rescue him from there, but they knew they couldn't do it on their own. As time went by, the siblings were 12 years of age, 1 year before they returned to the village, 1 year before they met their sibling, Naruto. As for them, they were trained harshly. They wanted to train more so that they could protect their brother and help him train to become more stronger than them. If not, then at least strong as them. They were hell-bent on being Naruto in Naruto's good books because they knew only a foolish person will be able to accept them back. And if Naruto was anything like them, then he was hardly foolish. And on to the other side, in Konohagakure no Sato, Naruto training went well. He was the academy top student. And not only that, Rookie of the Year as well. He was graduated 1 year before the original exams. as he was recruited into Anbu by Kakashi and Tenzo into Team Ro, as his code name was Mouse, as he was sent on missions variously that were dangerous to hunt down those who were S-rank shinobis missing from Konoha. And well, Naruto was also the one who brought back the Raijin sword of the second Hokage, but Hiruzen told him that he could use it as Naruto displayed great skills with it, and hence the sword was given to Naruto. Naruto peaked it and, well, modified it a bit as it peaked the Harishin no Jutsu, as it was much faster than Minato's. Naruto could teleport anywhere in which direction he pointed his sword at, with great speed and accuracy. And he was already an A-rank threat in Anbu, a Jonin level Anbu in his own right. As time went by, Naruto wondered what his siblings were doing. During the years, one thing was for sure, he was going to give his siblings a chance. And as he knew the time of his parents' arrival came near, he wanted to meet his siblings so much that his anticipation grew as much. He wanted to see how much they had trained, what their personality was like. If they were arrogant, which he highly thought they would be, then he will not bother with them, not even giving them a second chance. Just like his family, he won't give them any chance anymore. He wasn't going to take on back the name of Uzumaki and Namikaze anymore. That was something he was robbed of at the time he was born by his parents themselves. And hence another year passed by, as the Genins were now graduated. Naruto was put off of Anbo duty and was made a Jonin sensei. He was going to train his own team, and he had a pick who he was going to train. It was none other than Kiba Shino and Hinata, the girl he saved at the age of 4 from, well, who other than Kumo Shinobi. Not only that, he captured him alive by deception and good planning. And well, Hinata from then on, well, loved Naruto. Naruto knew she followed him around, and one day Naruto confronted her. She blurted out that she loved him, and before she passed out, Naruto for the first time in his heart felt another feeling, another kind of love for her, an affection. It was not a familial love, it was more kind of a romantically involved love that he only heard in books. And from then on, Naruto started to care for Hinata. And plus, once Naruto graduated from the academy 1 year before, Hinata was sad. But before Naruto left, he kissed her on the lips and told her that she will be his only one, and she will be the one he will marry once he becomes a strong person to protect her. And plus, she becomes a Jonin, or at least Chunin, before he does so. And he secretly trained her as well from time to time. And now he wanted to become her sensei alongside with Kiba and Shino. He wanted a information gathering team and a tracking team as well. As Naruto submitted his request, Kurona was mad because she also wanted to be on that team. But she huffed and let Naruto roll with it because she knew that the kid was already being put through enough, and soon his parents will be coming back. So she didn't bother much. She just had to wait 1 year more. Plus, she knew that Naruto loved Hinata and wouldn't let anything touch her. And time went by. As months passed, their deadline came across. 1 week went by as we see Jiraiya Tsunade, Minato Kushina, and Menma and Mito, now in their 13 years of age, walking back inside Konoha. As they entered Konoha, they were treated as any normal shinobi. Ah, Yondem-sama, Kushina-sama. And I guess these are Menma and Mito. Welcome, Jiraiya-sama, Tsunade-sama. Sign here and you can leave inside. As the signs were made, they all left inside, quite surprised by the casualty in their tone. As they dashed towards the Hokage office, and they saw that Hiruzen was being there, seated. As he said, "Come in," after hearing a knock, as they all walked inside. "Hello, sensei," said Jiraiya with a smile and his goofy grin. "I brought you a gift." he said as he put his new masterpiece down. But what caused him to be so surprised was that with the katon jutsu, hiruzen burned the book into ashes. Get that filth away from my desk. So, I see you are all black. As Minato and Kushina saw it, Sensei, Hiruzen, we know that you're mad, they all said in unison, but please forgive us. Where is Naruto? Can you summon us? Summon him to us? We want to talk to him. And yeah, we also are going to recruit him back into our clan. Here are the papers. He only has to sign it to be a part of our clan again. As he called for an Anbu. Anbu, come down. As an Anbu with cat mask came down, go and call for Jonin Naruto. As they all eyes widened, Jonin? And then they remembered from Bingo book a month ago that Jiraiya had brought in. Alliance with Konoha, Anbu named Mouse, blonde hair, mask Anbu. A rank threat, possibly Jonin level at every jutsu or taijutsu wise, kenjutsu wise, ninjutsu, genjutsu, possibly Jonin level. As then they remembered, how can Naruto be a Jonin now? But his parents didn't get it. The only one who got the message was that Naruto might be Mouse was none other than Menma and Mito, and they were happy that their sibling was much stronger than they thought. And they also wanted to challenge Naruto to see who was stronger. There was still competition between them. As Naruto arrived with Sunshin, as he bought, Hokage-sama, you summoned for me. Naruto said he had grown his hair, as his hair was now to his shoulder. As he looked up, there was a huge scar, a lone scar that went down from his forehead down to his eye to his lips, just like Kakashi. But his eye was okay. As he looked towards the rest of the occupants, I see, they returned then, which caused their eyes to be widened. You know about us? Said Kushina with quite surprise. Yes. When you received my picture many years back, it was the day I learned that you existed and what you did at the time of my birth. After hearing these words, their eyes widened as they glared daggers at Hiruzen. Don't look at me. He was the one who wanted to know after waking up. And plus, I'm an honest man. I will tell him honestly what his parents did at the time, he said with venom, which caused them to flinch. As he looked towards Menma and Mito, as they smiled at him, Naruto smiled back. Care to join me on, Ichiraku Ramen? As all of them smiled at that, Hiruzen was quite surprised. As Minato and Kushina said, "Well, sure will, not you two, or anyone else. I was just talking to both of them." I'm sorry, I didn't quite get your name. As their eyes widened, sorry. I thought that maybe Kachan and Tochan must have told you in a letter. They said, glaring at their parents, who flinched and looked away. We kind of forgot, said Kushina, nervously chuckling. What do you mean by that we can't come, Naruto? I mean, I am reuniting with my siblings. As for the rest of you, you're dead to me. As their eyes widened. What do you mean by that? You're going to leave your clan behind like that? Kushina said, a little bit mad at her son's word. For an Uzumaki family was above everything. Ironically, Naruto just chuckled. Wow. Did she seriously ask that question? He said, looking at Menma, Mito, and Hiruzen, who, looked down. As Menma and Mito were embarrassed. What? As Minato then said, we kind of banished him from the clans, remember? Oh, I forgot. You see, I don't have any clan, but I do have siblings. And it seems that, surprisingly, they are, educated in good manners. I don't know how, but I'm thankful to Kami above that. They're not arrogant or anything. Because I wasn't going to give them any second chances, like I won't give any to you all. I know who you are as well, Jiraiya of the Sannin, and Tsunade of the Sannin. As much as I respect the Shodai and Nidai, I guess I lost my respect for the Senju clan when it comes to you, which caused her two eyes to be widened. Tsunade could now reveal that she was his grandmother, not only his godmother. And Jiraiya was also quite hurt by Naruto's words. You see, the truth was that Jiraiya and Tsunade were father and mother of Minato. But at the time, so they left Minato in an orphanage so that both of their sons could live in peace and not be targeted by their enemies, as it was already warring era. And well, Minato grew, and he had his own family. Jiraiya knew that what he decided for Naruto was bad, but after hearing his words, it pierced his heart even more, and he regretted his decision, but it was already too late. But he had to keep his act together and show that he was only his godfather. It hurted him so much every day just to show that he was their godfather and nothing else. Even if he was their real grandfather, he had no right to claim them. Not even Minato, his own son. As Tsunade clenched her fist. What do you mean by that, Gaki? You lost your respect for Senju clan. She was mad as well, because even if he was banished from, well, none other than Uzumaki and Namikaze clan, he was still a part Senju. And how can he say that? I said, I lost my respect for you because you abandoned me as well, grandmother, he said, which caused her eyes to be widened. How do you know? As Minato's eyes widened as well. Grandmother? What are you talking about, Naruto? She's your godmother, said as Minato and Menma and Mito's eyes widened. Don't you guys see? You, he pointed at Minato, are their son. They left you at orphanage. I did blood test on my own. And guess what? They are your blood-related parents. They are your progeny and progenitor. And not only that, they are our grandparents, he said, looking towards Menma and Mito. They abandoned their own child, and guess what? He did to his own child the same. I guess it runs in the family, but I tell you this is the tradition that will be broken here, as I will not abandon a single one of my child if I ever brought them into this world, and that's a promise of a lifetime, he said as he left, with the Moketan clone disintegrating into wood nothingness as their eyes widened. He was a wood clone, they all thought. Hiruzen, as they all looked towards Hiruzen, with quite surprised and hoping for answers. Yes, he unlocked that when he was at the age of 4. He rescued Hinata Yuga from Kumo Shinobi. As Kushina's eyes widened. How can he do that? He was a 4-year-old kid. You see, when he learned that you abandoned him, he unlocked his chakra. It was so much similar to that of Hashirama Sensei and Tobirama Sensei that I told them to perform a test in private. But when Naruto was done with his training, I revealed this to him as well. You see, I'm being completely honest here. I promised to myself that I will never lie to Naruto again because of you. And I was quite surprised to hear that you too abandoned your own child as such, Tsunade. As Minato looked towards them with wide eyes, feeling hurt and hate for them. How could you? And then he realized, his eyes widened, how much of a hypocrite he was. I see. So Naruto wanted me to learn this lesson, how much it hurts to know that your family has abandoned you. As his years of loneliness caught up to him finally, as he shed tears, as he chuckled, good one, Naruto, good one. Now I see how much you have suffered. Heck, you even suffered more than me. As they were talking to themselves, as Minato was being consoled by Kushina, Tsunade and Jiraiya looked towards each other with wide eyes. They wanted to reveal this to Minato, but not now. They knew that their family was already fucked up, but Naruto just made the situation worse. They wanted to gain Naruto's forgiveness, but now it seems like Minato will not even forgive them. And it caused Tsunade to break down as well. She lost so many precious people to her, and now seeing that her son in such state, and not only her grandson looking at them with such venom, she knew that she made the gravest of mistakes by following Minato at the time and leaving Minato by following Jiraiya's words both at the time. She could have been stayed here for both Minato and at the time when Naruto needed them, but no. She followed their family's word, leaving a member behind. And now, unlike the rest of them, she too will have to suffer from the same hatred of Naruto. On to the other side in Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto enjoyed lunch with his siblings as they caught up and chuckled a bit. As Mito then asked, "Nay, when we saw your picture, he started to cry. How can you go through all of this?" As Naruto was quite surprised. "We were hurt. We hated our parents. We trained hard so that we can train you. But you became strong. And, well, we are proud to call you our big brother and all, but didn't it hurt?" "Well, it hurt like hell at the time, and my body got numb after a few stabs here and there. But it hurted a lot to hear that my family left. I don't blame you too. Now that I know you completely, if you're being honest at least, yes, we are. Well, we can train from time to time and catch up later. What do you say?" "Yeah, it sounds good. Where are you going, Nissan?" said Mito. "Oh, yeah, I got a date." As both of his siblings got a mischievous grin as Naruto groaned, "Oh, not again." He already had a lot of trouble with Konohamaru teasing him about this, but not his own siblings. As Mito and Menma grinned, "I see. Good for you, Nissan." "Well, we'll talk to you later. We gotta go and console them," Menma said. "Yeah, go to your family, I guess. See you guys later," he said as he rising away in front of them. "Was that Harishi no Jutsu?" "Yeah, we gotta tell this to them." "But why should we?" Menma said. "It's his secret," Menma said with a smirk. "He should keep it as well. Remember, deception is the key to success for a shinobi." As Mito nodded while chuckling. On to the other side in Amegakure. While this was going on, Obito smacked a fist into the wall, causing crack to appear. Damn it! Kakashi was right. It was damn Zetsu that manipulated Mothra, and not only that, he manipulated me. Played me like a fool I was. Don't worry, Kakashi. I will bring back Rin with me, and not only that, I will kill Zetsu. Well, while this was going on back in Konoha and Land of Fire, Obito was on his own mission to gather as much info as he could about Madara and Zetsu. And turns out Zetsu was an extension of a being known as Kaguya Otsutsuki, the rabbit goddess. Black tears shed by her to form a being, her will. She was trapped by Sage of the Sixth Path in the moon and only can be released by Rinnegan wielder, and when he revived the Ten Tails by gathering the Nine Tails Bijus. Seems similar to another plan that a fucking traitor said to him. Oh yes, the Moon Eye plan. It was not a plan to create peace, it was a plan to free his mother. As he was in a meeting with other Akatsuki members, aside from Zetsu. So this is the thing, we will not gather the Bijus. We'll create a, chuck of their energy and extract it from them and put it into the Ghetto Mazo. Seemingly looked like that the Biju was extracted and the Jinchuriki was killed and was stored in the Ghetto Mazo. Where are you getting with this, Obito? We know that we are betrayed, all played by him. So why are you still going with the plan? We are going to betray him as he was planning to do with us at the main time. I am going to destroy the Ghetto Mazo by becoming his Jinchuriki and destroying myself. It's the only thing I can do to atone for my sins against Konohagakure. And the only redemption for me. As for you all, you still have your own means to live. And Hidan, I don't think you can, be salvageable. But Kaguzu can. I know what you're saying, Kaguzu said, as he stabbed Hidan in the heart with a wooden staff, which was the only way to kill Hidan. It was a holy wooden staff. You bastards, he said before he disintegrated with black flames. As his body was cut off in million pieces as it was distributed and buried deep inside Earth, miles away in each elemental nation. So you can tell that the rest of us are salvageable. Yes, You were betrayed by someone precious to you at one point. But now, we can save this world, be good, and do good. And well, save this world from Zetsu by betraying him. As they all nodded. And hence, the Katsuki's plan for revenge on Zetsu began, unknown to him. As well, Chunin exams came, and as they went as in canon, Orochimaru still tried to mark Sasuke, but he was prevented this time. But he still attacked Konoha in order to kill his sensei, unaware that Naruto could use Raijin no Jutsu alongside with his, well, father who gave birth to him, nothing else anymore for him. But he was stopped and well captured by them, alongside with Kabuto and his other compliances. As for Suna, they apologized as they found out that it was Orochimaru pulling the strings behind the attack, as their Kazekage was dead. And soon after, they elected a new Kazekage, which was none other than Gaara. The word spread about Akatsuki in the whole elemental nations, as there was a meeting between them, as Obito himself went there and unrevealed himself to everyone else. His sensei was quite surprised by this, and so was Kakashi, as Obito went and hugged Kakashi and apologized for what he did. As he then glared at his sensei, "I heard what Kakashi said is gravestone, sensei, and I'm not pleased with what you did. You are lower than trash." "Yeah," said Kakashi. "It is an insult to trash to name him that. I don't respect you anymore, Minato." "You lost my respect." "Mine as well," said Obito. "I'm with Kakashi on this one." As Obito chuckled and said that, as Kakashi chuckled, "Your own loser." "So, this Zetsu guy," said Oniki, getting their attention. "You're saying that he wants to revive this rabbit goddess, Kaguya Otsutsuki, mother of the Sage of the Six Spots, that was sealed on a moon. And she might take chakra away from us, yes, and might kill us all as well. That is why I want all of your help. We will look like that we're fighting against each other, but at the main time, when the plan is about to become successful, I will betray him and destroy myself alongside with the Geromazo by becoming a Jinchuriki. There has to be another way," said Kakashi. "There isn't. If there is, then I'm more than willing to try, but this is my redemption, Kakashi, against Konoha and against Naruto." "I forgive you, Obito-san," said Naruto. "You're the only person I will forgive, aside from my siblings. These people don't deserve my forgiveness," he said, looking at Tsunade, Jiraiya, his parents, as his siblings stood with him, also somewhat hating their parents for what they did. Why? Well, what if their parents decided to leave them behind? It'll be a whole other picture. Naruto was the most, genius and sound-minded out of all of them, and the rational one as well. As well, the plan was decided, as per Obito's request, but the ending was kept secret. Why? Well, you'll see as we move on to the story. And time went by as soon the war broke out between the elemental nations and the Akatsuki, as they all battled against each other and seemingly fell by the Shinobi Alliance at their hands after battling, which almost looked real, as Garomazo was summoned by Pain before he too fell at the hands of Naruto. Quote-unquote fell. Alongside his spots and, Konan as well, as Zetsu was there gritting his teeth as Obito implanted Rinnegan of none other than Madara. And he alongside with the resurrected Madara that he resurrected by himself by sacrificing a blood clone were standing there, as Madara became the next Sage of the Six Spots. He then looked at Obito and revived Rin as per promise, which caused Kakashi and his sensei to look at shock. "Rin? Huh? Kakashi? Is that you?" Rin said as she was now in her grown-up form, as she looked at Obito and gasped, "Obito, you're alive!" As Obito dashed towards and hugged her. "I'm sorry, Rin. I wasn't there to protect you, but I promise I will." As Rin blushed, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hug you like that. It's just that..." Obito was blurting out nonsense while his skin was turned red as a cherry as Kakashi chuckled. "It's good to have you back, both of you. The previous Team 7 has gathered, it seems," he said, as they all nodded and chuckled. Minato was happy, but he knew that his students hated him now for what he did, and he too hated himself after learning of, well, his own parentage. He wasn't going to blame Naruto. He was going to only blame himself, as he blamed Jiran Tsunade for what they did to him. And well, once Zetsu was killed off for once and for all by none other than Sage of the Six Paths Madara, he looked at everyone. I apologize for what I did. I have to apologize to him as well. People of Konoha, please forgive me for the consequences that I caused upon you all. Because of my foolishness and me being manipulated by this being that I killed, I became the man who I was now, a traitor. And I turned Obito into such as well. I'm sorry, Obito. Fine, old man. You're forgiven. Why, you little. Anyways, I guess my time is up, he said, as he alongside himself destroyed the 10 tails. As 9 Bijus reformed, the Gerumazo forever to be destroyed, never to form again. As the 9 Bijus looked at all of them, or the chunks of them, as they were now a new 9-tailed Bijus in their kids' form. As the original 9-tailed Bijus looked at them, seems like we have kids, everyone. As Kurama, who was in separate entity by now, as Naruto let his soul be free and enter inside his siblings so that, well, the yin and the yang side could be completed and they can gain control over the KCM mode. Talked as well, but we have one kid. Who is he going to live with? He's going to be living with me, Naruto said. I hope you don't mind, QB-sans. It's quite weird when you mention us as sons, not son, but we know why you said that, because we are half. Good one, kid, said the yang side, as his siblings also chuckled as well. And hence, the Jinchurikis and their Bijus respectively took care of their chunks formed babies. Now there were 18 Bijus in the elemental nations, and hopefully the new 9 Bijus won't be sealed inside anyone else. And time went by. Naruto married the love of his life, Hinata, and well, rose to become the 7th Hokage after his sensei and live a happy life. Or Boruto was still born, and so was Himawari. Both of them were dotted by the Hyuga clan, and not only that, by their uncle Neji and Aunt Hanabi, alongside with their uncle Menma and Aunt Mito as well. Their grandfather and grandmother were allowed to visit them as well. Naruto might hate them, but he wouldn't be so, well, hard-hearted to let his, well, children be unknown to their grandparents. And their grandchildren forgave them and loved Naruto's children to that, as they did to, well, Menma's children, and so could be said for Mito's children. The new generation looked quite strong, but the only way for them to become much stronger was they stayed together, as Menma, Mito, and Naruto had stayed after their reunification or so on. The world was finally at peace, and Zetsu was destroyed. Kaguya was never freed, and Sage of the Sixth Path didn't have to come there himself and help Naruto and Sasuke this time. Oh yeah, you're wondering where Sasuke is, right? Well, he died because of cold in Orochimaru's cave. Why? Because he betrayed Konoha in order to kill Itachi. Itachi too died because of his disease, waiting for Sasuke. The Uchiha clan was no more in this world, forever to be raised inside, well, history books of Konoha. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing out. Peace.